Hey, what's up guys, it's AndreOth here, bringing you guys another video. And in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how I made a Tyler the Creator type beat for IGOR. Let's get into it. Yeah guys, so with this beat is in about 3 different parts. So there's like 3 different parts to this beat. The first part of the beat, I actually started it off with a lead in Logic called an Air of Detuned. And yeah, I just found that lead and I just got these Tyler the Creator vibes from it. So I just came up with this very unique kind of melody that I thought you'd probably hear on a Tyler the Creator song. I liked it. It was a little bit quirky, it was a little bit different, so I decided to roll with it. But yeah, the melody just sounded like this. So after I came up with that melody, I decided to move on to the drums, and as usual I always start my drums off with some snares or some claps. So I found these snares, I think I found it in a Logic stock drum kit, and I just played this very simple snare pattern. And everything should sound like this. So now after we came up with that snare pattern, I decided to move on to some kicks. So I found these kicks in that same Logic stock drum kit. It wasn't like a trap sounding kick or anything like that. It was more of a acoustic sounding kick that I liked. It kind of gave me some Tyler the Creator vibes. But yeah, I just played this very simple, straight to the point kick pattern that went really well with the rest of the drums. And when you hear that play with everything else, everything should sound like this. So after that was pretty much it for the drums. I didn't add any hi-hats or anything like that. I just kept it very simple. With the snares and the kicks. So after that was the drums pretty much finished. I wanted to then move on to the bass. So I found this kind of 808 sub bass from Splice. I just found it from a random kit and I put it into Logic. I like the sound of it, but I wanted there to be a bit more distortion because that just matched the vibe of the beat. And if you listen to a lot of Tyler the Creator songs, you know that he likes to use a lot of distortion on his bass. For example, if you listen to Running Out of Time and New Magic 1 from his album IGOR, you can listen to those songs, you can see that his bass, his sub bass normally has a lot of distortion on it. So I decided to put distortion 2 on this bass, and I decided to put another distortion 2 on this bass just so I can get a little bit more distortion. The distortion ended up sounding how I wanted it to sound, and then all I had to do was come up with a little bass line. So I came up with a very simple bass line that went really well with the main melody, and it ended up sounding like this. And then when you hear that played with the rest of the beat, everything should sound like this. So that was pretty much it for the first part of the beat. The first part of the beat was supposed to be kind of this more in your face, aggressive kind of vibe, similar to the vibe that you kind of get on New Magic 1 and other, you know, aggressive Tyler the Creator songs. So that's the vibe I was going for with the first part of the song, but I wanted the second part of the song to be a little bit more soft and have more of a kind of R&B kind of vibe to it. And obviously if you listen to Tyler, you know that he loves his R&B kind of sounds. So yeah, the second part of the song, I actually kept the same snare and kick pattern. I just found this loop in Logic called the Orion Sky Ambient Chords, and I just thought it sounded really beautiful, kind of had more of a softer, more of an R&B kind of vibe to it. So I just started off the second section of the song with the same drums, and I just played that Orange Sky loop, and I think it helps the beat to transition into the second part really well. And yeah, the loop just sounded like this. And the transition from the first part of the song into the second part of the song sounds like this. So after that, I just wanted to add some pianos. I wanted to play a very simple chord progression to go with that loop. So I found these 80s electric piano in Logic, and I just played this very simple chord progression that went really well with that Orange Sky loop, and it ended up sounding like this. And then when you hear everything played together, the beat should sound like this. And that was kind of it for that part of the song. I have another part of the song which isn't too different from the second part. I guess you can call it like the 2B section of the song. But yeah, in this second section, I keep the drums the same. I keep that chord progression with the 80s electric pianos. But what I did was I added this alpha pad that I found in Alchemy. It's like this really soft sounding lead, and I just played this lead that just went perfectly, in my opinion, with the chord progression that I made. And the lead just sounds like this. And then when you hear that played with the rest of the beat, everything should sound like this. And if you just hear that transition from the second part of the song to the other part of the song, it should sound like this. Yeah, so after that I decided to add some strings, and if you listen to Tyler the Creator, you know he loves his strings. So I decided to add these full strings and play the same kind of chord progression that I played with the electric piano, and it just went really well with this section of the song. It really kind of added a new dynamic to that section of the song, and it ended up sounding like this. And when you hear that played with everything else, everything should sound like this. So after that, this leads us into the outro section of the song. So the outro section of the song, I pretty much just added reverb to those strings I just added. And the outro section of the song is really those strings I just added and also another string section. So this other string section that I added was pretty much the same strings. I just played a different chord progression, and I also panned that string sound to the left. So obviously when you're listening to it, you're gonna hear it coming from the left. I just added that just so I can add a different dynamic to the beat. But anyways, the new string section that I added sounds like this. And then when you hear everything played together, the beat should sound like this. And if you hear that transition from the 2B part to the outro part of the song, it should sound like this. But yeah guys, that's pretty much it. That was every single component there was to this beat, and that was the whole process that went into making this beat. The only thing I had to do after that was structure the beat, and that's exactly what I did. But yeah guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did like the video though, please hit the like button down below and subscribe for more, because I have way more videos like this coming out every single week. If you guys want to purchase any beats from me, including the beat using this video, you guys can go to AndreOth.beatsource.com. and if you guys want, you can follow me on Twitter and you can follow me on Instagram for all latest updates. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.